Well, warm welcome to everybody here. I'd like to start by sharing my gratitude for the center, for the wonderful people here, and for the wonderful ways they support the community and the individuals and the collective. So I am very proud to be part of this community. And I think this particular spiritual community I hold very dear to my heart because of the lack of pretentiousness, to be honest. I just appreciate the ordinariness of everyone here, and to me, that speaks to me personally. So I just, this center really does have a very special place to me. And I've been a part of, a litany of spiritual communities in my life, but this one, it feels very special to me, very, very genuine. So, those who haven't seen me before, my name's Subra, and I grew up in the Tahoe area, but I also grew up around the world. I lived in 3 continents before I was 10. I've had quite an eclectic life, an eclectic journey. In my early 20s, I was a Hindu monk living in India. Then I gave it all up again and came back to California, and I got my music degree, and since then have come into the balance in the center, and so it's just a little bit about me and what I do here. Goodness, I don't even know how I could market it, which is great because I'm not a marketing individual, for better or for worse, but my intention here is to share something unique and beautiful and powerful. Everything that we're doing here is all about consciousness and presence. So keep that in mind or not in your mind, whichever way you look at it. And I like to weave music in what I'm doing as well. So I try to keep it playful. I might do some guided meditations. I might do some talking, some music. But the idea is to be spontaneous and to be alive. And so just join me in that spontaneity and in the moment. And what a beautiful sight to be seen, behind me. So just like to start with some music. You can play the cello track. This is such a magical time of year. What's one reason why felt inspired to give some time, attention, and love, and a talk about the inner child. Something about Christmas time that definitely brings my inner child out for play. You know, I think all of us, maybe, I mean, not all of us, but many of us connect to our inner child this time of year. The festivities and the lights and, I was guilty of setting up my Christmas tree long before I had any business doing it. Just from being excited, which is that, inner child dimension. So I felt like, this is a good time of year to give our inner child some time and love. Well, what is the inner child might be a good question, right? One way to look at it is it's a dimension that is always a part of us. That is an ever part of our being. And just like the ego is a dimension that's also part of us. I almost see the inner child and the ego as like two sides of the same coin in some way. They're very different, and they have very different purposes in our lives, So, just like to invite everybody during the time that we're here together, this is all about presence and us coming together in community and presence, and that can be as simple as being here with what's here with you, right? What's not presence might be a good question. Well, any thought that takes you away from who or what is in front of you is not presence, right? So I'd like to encourage people to choose a sense that they can anchor with our time together. So I'll share that since we have some new folks here today. So sound, taste, touch, sight, right? Our senses are, I think this is a word, silly word that I hear a lot of people saying, but it's a hack, you guys might have heard that. But I do think approaching consciousness and mindfulness, focusing on the senses, is actually a pretty cool hack. Because the more we try to quiet our minds, the louder it gets. I don't know if anyone has that experience, right? Or raise your hand if you had the experience of going to a retreat, expecting it to be this, and then it's a complete opposite, right? Raise your hand if you've had that experience. Okay, great. So like telling a child to be quiet, right? It's only going to make the child get louder, right? So it's good to think of our minds like this, and above all else, just encouraging a friendly and loving dynamic as much as possible, right? So for me, sound is definitely one of my anchor senses that I'm using daily. And, sometimes I'll be lost in thought and I'll just hear a bird, and it'll be like a wake-up call, like God's little wake-up call to me, In fact, every moment of our lives is a wake-up call from God. Every sunrise and sunset that you've seen in Tahoe, or wherever you may reside, it's supposed to be so beautiful that it pauses you in silence, right? And nature's like, how extraordinary do I have to make myself to be present with me, I like to think that nature and the natural world is constantly inviting us to be present. Even the way that the leaves will move on a tree, you know, in a windy day. It's like the leaves are like, hi, be present with me. We're here. Be here with me. The clouds, you know, everything. I personally, and again, you know, this, I like to separate maybe like universal truth to my experiential truth, right? So my experiential truth is that, you know, the natural world is constantly inviting us. It's constantly welcoming us home, is another way to look at it, right? But there's this one annoying thing that gets in the way again and again. It's our stories, right? And stories are different than thoughts in my experience, right? You know, many thoughts we have are very necessary. You know, oh, I need to cancel this flight. I need to need to book this thing. I need to, you know, like those sorts of thoughts are totally necessary, right? But I see that in one category, and then I see our stories as a different. It's the stories. It's like the broken record. Oh, my husband, he never wants to do the dishes. Oh, you know, every time you see like one spoon in the sink, you know, it's just you go there, think of the 15 years of not doing the That's kind of what I'm referring to, you know, and it's good to be in balance in all things, right? So we can't, it's, none of us could function without thoughts, you know? We couldn't even call each other names. We wouldn't know what to call each other. So thinking is not the enemy. Thinking is not a problem. But stories and you know, like the kind of thinking that just doesn't know when to stop, right? Exactly. And again, you know, trying to tell that voice to shut up, it's not going to get you very far, right? You know, but I've found that choosing one of our senses and anchoring with that is kind of a cool way to, it all disappears. So just for a couple moments, I would like for everyone to pick a sense. It's not going to be very long, okay? Don't worry. But let's pick a sense. What you see, what you hear, what you taste. It could be the feeling of your body on the seat. But let's all just settle in that for a moment. Beautiful. Now, has anyone ever noticed that the present moment never goes away? And it never gives up on us either, right? But we're the ones that go away, right? We're the ones that leave the present moment. It's good to make that distinction, you know? Or in other words, it's not us who leaves God, or not God who leaves us, but it's us who leave God. I said that backwards. Forgive me. You know? And at any given time, we have two worlds we can live in. We can either live in the world of our minds, where we are the creators, we are the ones in control, and we're the ones writing the story, you know? Or we can live in God's world of infinity, eternal love and presence. But the catch is we're no longer the ones writing. We're no longer the ones making, you know, calling the shots, right? So you could also look at it in that way too, you know. At any given moment, which world are you in? Are you in your world or God's world? And there's nothing wrong with either. That's another thing too. I feel like in spirituality there's so much guilt and shame and right and wrong. Do you guys actually know the word sin? Do you know the Latin root of the word, right? To the actual meaning, it doesn't mean that you've done something wrong. To sin means simply to miss the mark, right? Miss the mark. So at least for me, when I think of that, I don't think of sin as, oh, you're unforgivable or anything like that. It's just, oh, I missed the mark and now I'm back. Oh, I've lost the spoon in the sink triggered the shit out of me. I went down a 15-year rabbit hole of no dishes being done, but I'm back. I'm back. That's totally how the mind works. Um, so coming back is really what's important, and catching ourselves as well. That's the whole game is like hide and seek with yourself. I swear, all of spirituality just feels like that. It's like this game of hide and seek, between you and God and the universe. So I would like everyone to contemplate, just a short little contemplation. You don't have to blurt out answers or anything. But I'd like for everyone to reflect what's one key theme of your dream? What I mean by that is, what's a story that just keeps on popping up as almost like becoming a pattern, right? Not like, oh, I have to do this thing, I need to go to this place, but, oh my goodness, there's, like the sink thing, right? We all have stuff. And partners are really great in that way. They're really great mirrors. God put us together to trigger each other. And if you're wise, you'll learn and look inside, instead of push it all out. But if you could just reflect just for a moment, maybe like a theme of your dream. And if you're having a hard time, just think about your partner. It won't take long. I do. A very wonderful one. I love her very much. But I'm saying all in jest. But relationships really are a great way to see each other if we approach it that way, right? So, well, okay. So everybody has that theme of your dream, right? Just one. Okay, good. Now I'd like to ask you a question. Whose story is it? What would be your answer? So everyone's theme is like a one story that you're carrying, right? So whose story is it? Is my question. Who does that story belong to? It's half rhetorical, but if anyone has anything, I'd love to hear from, if anyone has a thought. There's no wrong answers, and participation is great because the more participation, the more group energy we feel. Yeah.
The story's not mine.
Okay, good. Very good. Ding, ding, ding. She, for those who are watching from home, she said the story is not mine. Anyone else? Where does the story come from? This is a really powerful contemplation.
Yeah, just expand on that a little bit. You like to blame it on them, like they're doing this or they're doing that. But you're the one who is really in control of your own reaction to it.
Absolutely. Because what's happening outside is one thing, and a lot of that we have no control over. The weather is a good example, right? But our reactions to that external stimuli says everything about our internal space and where we are, and they're loving little cute clues, Every time that I'm triggered, anytime you're triggered, anytime any of us get hot and bothered, yeah, it's not fun to go through, but I see part of that as God's love. It's trying to lovingly show us our next step in our healing journey. Right? The next step forward in our growth, right? God puts people in our lives specifically to trigger the out of us. It's all orchestrated. I deeply feel this. And I'm not just partners, I really do feel that everything is this grand orchestration to get us all to wake up and to heal. And all these little things are happening. Sometimes you're in a room and someone says that exact thing, and maybe that's not even what they meant, but it somehow brings something inside of you, So embrace all of this with your heart completely, It's okay to be human. It's okay to be triggered. It's perfect. It's not even, it's more than okay. It's by design, And thank God that God has infinite patience. That's what I'm thankful for Thanksgiving, because if God did not have infinite patience, I don't know if we'd all be here. you know? But, and something I like to tell people, I tell this to Carolina too, my partner, but, I do feel that love and patience are two sides of the same coin. And I don't know if this is universally true, but at least for me, like the deeper my heart has love for a person, the more patience I can have. At least in me, that's how it works. But going back to whose story is it? Well, this is pretty life-changing information. And are you guys ready to hear? Yeah. Is that enough anticipation? It's the little boy or little girl's story. It's the inner child's story. It's not yours. Just sit with that for a moment. All of those stories and all of those triggers and all of that chaos and madness and all of it doesn't even belong to you. But who's carrying it? That little girl, right? That little boy. So first, let's all close our eyes and just feel deep compassion and deep empathy for that little girl. And how she's been carrying all of that. Maybe feel some gratitude. Thank you. It's not fair to have a little boy or a little girl carry all those things. It's really not. And all the while we think that it's ours. But, I really feel that a lot of the times when myself or I see others deeply triggered around me, it almost always can be traced back to the inner child. Something going on. Maybe one day that you're bullied or candy was taken away, and I don't know, there's all sorts of things that can happen to us, you poor human beings, that can create lifetime stories of just there's not enough, or I'm not worthy, or it's crazy. In one of the retreats I've done, there was a participant who came up. He didn't really know what it was about, but a very strong memory of, this very strong feeling of not being worthy came up. And through the workshop and everything, it was or shame, these kind of things. And a lot of times people don't even consciously know where it's coming from. And it got traced back to the poor guy not being able to potty train right. And struggling with potty training. And just such a simple thing, and that created a lifetime story that this gentleman was carrying. But not being able to do it right, just like that alone, right? That's what I'm talking about. Theme of your dream, right? Like, I can't do it right. I can't do it right. I can't do it right. And then you follow that thread, and then it goes back to you being a little boy and little girl getting yelled at because you can't potty train correct. That's how this thing works, But I promise you, every moment that you're present, guess who you're also present with? That little girl, right? So we're going to do a short little, these are all little short exercises today. Okay, keep the energy dynamic and moving. Close your eyes if you wish, or keep them open. Just for a few moments, I want you to visualize your inner child and just feel that you're being present together. You feel her presence, she feels yours. Beautiful. 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 So there's a woman, and she's fast asleep. And she lives in downtown Truckee, which means that there's a chicka 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 train that goes through her town, you know. She's falling asleep, and, you know, she's in her dream. And she's on a big, busy train. All the seats are taken. And she realized she can't find her missing luggage. Now, this isn't just any piece of luggage. This is the one her great-grandmother gave her. It was a family heirloom. It was filled with all her favorite clothes and snacks, favorite books, right? And she's on this long train, and she just can't. She's like, you know, losing it. You know, and mind you, this is in her dream, right? She's asleep, and she's, you know, frantically looking for her suitcase, going to one car. Have you seen my purple paisley suitcase? Oh no, have you seen you know, going car by car by car, and she's deep in this situation. And while she's in the dream, the train choo, you know, and she kind of halfway almost wakes her up, but then she's like, wait, no, I can't wake up. I still need to get my suitcases. And she falls back into the dream to continue searching for her suitcases. This is a metaphor for the entire spiritual journey. And the theme of your dream, that those are your suitcases, right? So it's really helpful, one, to realize, hey, this thing I'm holding on to, it's not even mine. It doesn't even belong to me. It belongs to my poor inner child. And secondly, there's no letting go to receive this. Is never a decision that I've regretted in my life. Of dropping that baggage for just a few seconds so I can listen to the bird, or dropping that for a few seconds so I can look at the water. I don't think I've ever once regretted that decision. So I'm just coming here today. You know, I've had a very convoluted, complicated spiritual journey. I've explored a lot. I've seen a lot. And, you know, part of what I try to share when I come here is, one, sharing the simplicity that I've discovered, to make it uncomplicated, to make it unconvoluted, to make it simple, straight, and clear. So that's one thing that's really important to share. So let's drop all of that and just come back to the moment. Does anybody hear the clock? Listen close enough. Yeah. Those sitting in the back are at a slight advantage. It's actually great fun to quiet and to tune into things that you notice that you're just completely oblivious to. It's a lot of fun. I think because sound is my anchor, so that's what I tune into the most. So, I have a guided meditation for everybody. It's all to do with the inner child. Okay, so I'm very excited to be offering this. So get comfortable. You know, you don't have to be too serious. But we're all going to go and we're going to connect to that dimension of ourselves. And my hope is that by the end, your little boy and girl is like a kid on Christmas. And you carry that spirit with you all the way through the holiday season. Okay. Can you play the cello? Or actually just any meditation music would be great. Okay, we're going to close our eyes. We're going to ground ourselves in presence. The body's breathing. The air is moving. You can feel your legs touching the seat and your feet touching the floor. Just letting everything go and receiving everything in return. So this is going to be a repeat after me. You can either speak the words out loud or whisper them, or you can speak them inside, whatever you feel comfortable with. My beloved child, I'm so sorry. I've been lost in your story. It's your story, not mine. And it's been hard to come out of your story. So I can be present with you. In coming out of your story, I am not rejecting you or abandoning you. By coming out of your story, I can become more and more present. And as I become present, I open into the deepest levels of love. My beloved child, I love you so much. I am love. I am acceptance. I am compassion. That's who I am. And now I'm sending all of that love to you. So much love. You are so beautiful. You are so innocent. You are so sweet. I love you so much. And I'm so sorry it's been so difficult for you. But I am here now. Beloved child, I am from your future. I have come back for you. You can relax. if you'd like, you can come closer to me. So now you can imagine the inner child, the little girl, and invite her to come closer to you. And invite her to engage with you in any way she wants. Remember, it's all about her. So if she wants to play, she can play. If she wants to sit on your lap, she can sit on your lap. If she just wants a hug, she can have that hug. Now have a sense of being with the child. In any way the child wants to be. It's entirely up to the child. You can see how the child is becoming beautifully present. The child is being restored to its original state of innocence. The child is relaxing so beautifully. Now tell the child, I love you and accept you unconditionally. You are perfect as you are. I know you have a lot of painful and difficult feelings for a long time. And these feelings are too much for any young child. You should not have to feel all these painful and difficult feelings. So my beloved child, I will feel them for you. I will feel the feelings. I will be present with the feelings. And I will allow the feelings full expression in a responsible and loving way. That's how much I love you. Now I want to be very, very honest with you. I'm present now, but I can't promise I'm always going to be present. But I'm learning how. Now ask this to the child. Will you be patient with me as I learn how to be more and more present? Now the answer will come from inside and will be almost instantaneous. Relaxing even more and sensing the child's presence within you. Now whisper sweet words of love, encouragement, and support to the child. Now say this, I'm here now, my beloved child, and I'm the one you've been waiting for. Feel the child more and more, as if the child is becoming one with you. In presence, feel the child merging with you. Now if we could please play the song. Now please just listen to this song and be with the inner child in any way that you want, in any way that she wants. Thank you.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Merging with the inner child.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less
As if you're singing to the child.
How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
So now feeling the inner child just merging with you and you merging with her. So be gentle for your heart today. Everybody's heart is going to be a little tender. So take care of yourself. And I'd like to encourage everyone to bring playfulness and lightheartedness into the holiday season. Okay. Thank you.